Hi, I have a small update on my orchids. I have some blooms and some buds coming up, and the blooms are mostly Phalaenopsis and Dendrobiums. And that one there, blooming with three flowers, is my Tine Fly Eagle. And notice usually there are yellow patches, random yellow patches on these flowers. But this time it's like solid red. There's no yellow. I'm not sure why. I think it's because of the Traspis or Speciosa temperature affecting it. So they're a little bit boring, just red. I would prefer to have random yellow patches, but still nice and it smells good. It has nice fragrance. So my Tine Fly Eagle. And another fall I have in bloom is Ambanensis. This is the one that I got a couple years ago from Kingfisher Orchids. It's blooming nicely. Of course, I managed to rot the roots on this plant, so it's in a clay pot with sphagnum moss, growing roots, and actually decided to bloom too, which is nice. And the most exciting happening on Phalaenopsis is this spike here. This is Phalaenopsis owl's red sun something. I forgot the exact name. But it's supposed to have amazing fragrance. Rascat's has it too, and she got hers in spike from the vendor from Kingfisher Orchids, and she had the blooms. Yes, they do smell very nice. I got just kind of seedling, and now it's finally big enough to bloom, and it created me a spike. So we'll see. We'll see if I get the flowers. But I'm really excited about this one. And I also have another spike, I think, growing on my Angraecum didiri. See? On the right there, there's a spike coming up. So it's gonna be a third blooming in like a year, within a year, which is amazing. It basically blooms on each leaf node. It's pretty cool. And my two dendrobiums from Aquagenera. This one is the orange, is Cuthbertsonii orange. And these are really, really carefree plants. I just water them when they dry. And they grow and they bloom. See, there's a bud and there's another bud coming up. And those flowers, they stay on for months. And this one is Nagomi Pink, which is the cross of Cuthbertsonii. And also it grows nicely and it blooms. The only thing is they're not fragrant, but they're very cheerful and they add nice color to my thing. And this is my Tobians, which is amazingly long-lasting blooms. Now there are three. They look really cool. I like it. Now here on this side, I have buds coming up on my green division of Keiga. Keiga actually is a striped variety. So it's supposed to have Shima stripes, but it's unstable and often the plants produce just solid green growth. And my main plant, Keiga, produced lots of green growth. So I kind of divided it. I broke off the green growth and created the separate plants. And I put it in a tank under light, highlight, trying to encourage the stripes. but I did not get stripes yet. But because of the warm temperature, I think in the tank, it decided to bloom now. Even though it's not spring and not summer, but so I got the blooms instead of stripes. Another bud I have coming up on my Dendrobium sinense. And that one I didn't expect because, oh, plant is not doing very well. It doesn't grow much. It never gave me a nice solid growth. Just one little growth at a time. And yeah, I think this is a bud. It's kind of cool. And I don't give it cold rest. It stays in the tank permanently and it blooms there, see? Created bud. So maybe the cold, dry rest is not that important for this species, or at least in my conditions. And here's the most exciting bud in my tank right now. This is Kiovi Mendenhall that I got from Equagenera. This is the replacement of mislabeled plant. So I'm really curious to see if this one is a real deal. And yeah, the bud is developing. It was actually out of tank, but then I noticed that new growth is trying to produce the bud. And I was afraid that out of tank it will be too cold and too dry. So I moved it inside of tank for the time being until it blooms, just because I really want to see the bloom, just to confirm that this is the real Kiovi Mendenhall. And then it'll go out of tank again because it's too big. And to be honest, I did notice something little white there, which might or might not be the mealybug. So I wiped the leaves with alcohol, but I'm just too afraid to take it out of tank now, just so that the bud doesn't drop. So I'm risking it. I'm watching it every day. And yeah, I'm waiting for the flower. Hopefully it is the real deal, the real Kiovi Mendenhall. Now here's the bottom of the tank. There's no buds, but just nice growth. My little Neophynetia defasclings are progressing really well. They like to be potted in these community pots. And I also put some Neophynetias that I'd like to grow faster. Normally they would be out of tank and kind of like growing slowly. But I picked the ones that I want to grow faster. So I prefer the growth over the blooms on these. And they're doing well here. They're growing nicely in the tank. And my slippers are all progressing well too. I have a couple Phragmipediums in the tank. Those that are doing good, like not all of them doing good here. Sometimes they start rotting. But this is my Kvachi, I don't know how to say it, which likes tank. And this is Predator. I'm hoping that it'll bloom sometime because it's getting bigger. And yeah, those two like the tank, so I'm keeping them in the tank. And here on my IKEA shelf, I have blooms. Oh, you've seen these blooms. This is the Cattleya from Equagenera that was shipped to me as Kiovi Mendenhall, but it appeared to be just a mislabel. It's still pretty, so it turned out to be a pretty nice purchase because it's blooming second time for me. And the flowers are pretty. I like contrasting lip. I just noticed that now that it's colder, the flowers are more greenish. But when it was warm, when it bloomed in summer, they were like yellow, buttery yellow. But both colors are nice. I like it. And I also have very exciting bud. Right there. See, that's a Cattleya bud. And this is Cattleya trianae cerulean. And I've been waiting for this bud for 3 years. See, when I bought this plant, this was the plant, and this the new growth, the first one in my care, and it had empty sheath, so no blooms. The next year I got this growth, and the sheath developed something, but then it got dark and brown and dried out. And the third year now I got the bud. So they say third time is a charm, and that's true. That's my Cattleya tree, and I hopefully we'll see the flowers soon. I'm really excited about this Cattleya. Other than that, on my shelf, there's not much else happening. My Phragmipediums are doing actually pretty good. They're getting big. This is Wasner Super Grande. I'm hoping it'll bloom in spring, because there's lots of leaves now. And this one here is Sedenii. I got it as a division from Resquetzal. Also, this new growth is progressing well. Hopefully there will be the blooms in the spring. And the third one that I'm hoping for blooms is this one, Wanaki Sunset. I'm thinking this growth is getting bigger. So maybe those three will bloom for me, hopefully. Maybe not, we'll see. And Neophynetes are mostly just hibernating. I don't water them as often now. I'm letting them stay dry for a few days before watering again, so they don't grow as much now. But that should encourage more blooms actually for them. And what else? No buds on my Brassicattleyas. I have two Brassicattleyas, Amethyst and Fuchstar. They produced new growth, but didn't make any buds yet. And yeah, so that's my small update on my orchids. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.